Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for joining in. This is 28th in the series where we're going to speak about one of the effective documentation in OTC Treasury market, which is known as ISDA. Well, from this side, I'm Rahul Magan, working as a corporate treasurer in EX services. At the same time, I'm a treasury trainer in various firms across the world, predominantly in Asia, and also acting as a virtual treasurer for various firms in India. And you can also find my first co-authored books, Option for Risk-Free Portfolio in New York. My next book, which is Techniques to Hedge Your Interest Rate Exposure, is scheduled to publish in Australia in 2014. Again, reiterating the fact that you're most welcome to connect to my foreign exchange academies on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Dailymotion. You just need to type Foreign Exchange Every Thinkers, or you can type my name, Rahul Magan. And LinkedIn is basically 2,000 or over 2,000 global members. YouTube is 27 videos, and Dailymotion is almost the same. And you're welcome to contact me at 9899242978. You can contact me on Skype as well, Rahul5327 and rahulmagan8@gmail.com. Today we're going to speak about one of the effective documentation in the world of over-the-counter treasury market, which is known as ISDA agreement. Now, what do you mean by ISDA? ISDA stands for International Swaps and Derivative Association. ISDA stands for International Swaps and Derivative Association. Basically, foreign exchange markets in the world are divided into two parts. One is known as OTC market, second is known as exchange traded market. Now, in exchange traded, people continue to have a belief that their money is not going to be anywhere because there is a guarantor. The guarantor is known as exchange. So, between two parties, there is a guarantor exchange. However, in OTC, there is also a guarantor, but you cannot see this guarantor, you cannot feel this guarantor, but this guarantor is in the written form, which is known as ISDA. The role of a ISDA is to confirm that both the party 1 and party 2, which are dealing with each other, generally in that case the party 1 is corporate and the party 2 is bank, they should have a proper document with them, so that in case of any default, in case of a cross default, or in case of anything, they would be able to save themselves without any party can sue the second party in the court. Now take a very simple example. Now take a very simple example. Here is Cognizant India, whose parent is Cognizant US, who has given a corporate guarantee to their banker known as DBS Singapore. Now, Cognizant India wants to do a local currency hedge, which means the USD hedge. However, this may not be termed as a local currency. I'm referring to local currency because the intercompany billing between Cognizant India and Cognizant US is in local currency. So, Cognizant India would do a hedge with DBS Singapore. And in case of India, you can take any hedges till near 12 months without having any ISDA agreement, but post rolling 12 months, you need to have an ISDA agreement in place. So, Cognizant India would sign an ISDA. There would be an ISDA between Cognizant India and DBS Singapore. Now, that ISDA is divided into 4 parts. One is known as ISDA Master Agreement. (2002). Second is ISDA Schedule to Annex. Third is known as RDS. RDS stands for Risk Disclosure Statement, and fourth stands for CSX. CSX stands for Credit Support Next. Well, the detail is going to become in next video, but in this video we are going to cover the description of each of the above. ISDA Master Service Agreement refers to the Master Service Agreement, or the main important document which is created by ISDA over a period of time. You cannot amend even a single line of ISDA Master Service Agreement. However, if you need to amend any documentation, then you need to create a structure part here, which is ISDA Schedule to Annex. This is known as risk disclosure statement. Now, risk disclosure statement has specifically came up after 2007 when we have saw several court cases where the chief financial officers or even the companies went to court and said, hey, basically we were not aware what you are signing. What we signed, we were not aware about the risk. So risk disclosure statement will cover it covers all kind of asset classes plus the specified risk which company have to sign. So in any case, take an example, Infosys India is currently doing via option contract and now they want to enter into cost reduction structure. Cost reduction structure refers to the option payoffs. Basically now they want to do range forwards. Seagull, call spread, put spread, barrier and all. Now in this, initially the ISDA was signed on plain vanilla options. Now they are going to do cost reduction structure. So risk disclosure statement at inception would cover each and everything. Fourth rank refers to a beautiful concept in the world of ISDA, which is referred to credit support annex. Credit support annex means an annex wherein the principal would submit some dollar funding to the bank because the principal is taking a long-term hedging. And when in case of any reversal of trade, like Cognizant is selling for Cognizant India is selling for 7 years, after 4 years Cognizant India is coming to a bank and saying, hey, I want to cancel the trade. On this, it's a clear-cut mention that the M2M loss on these hedges will be paid by Cognizant India. However, the M2M gain will not be paid by Cognizant. M2M gain will not be received by Cognizant India. The next video would cover the description of risk disclosure statement in CSX, but I am again repeating your fact for your reference that ISDA Master Service Agreement is the Master Service Agreement. Schedule to Annex is something which you cannot amend anything here, so you have to work there. RDS means your risk disclosure statement, all asset classes, their risk. Credit support annex refers to the basically when a parent company will deposit some dollar funding to a bank in the form of capital protection scheme, so that money will not go so as the interest, and in that sense the local company is able to take long-term hedging. This is one of the most beautiful documentation of ISDA. At the end, as a corporate treasurer, I would like to reiterate the fact that once you are doing any long-term commitment hedging, or you are taking long-term receivable in your books, or you are taking long-term liability in your books, then it is very much important for you to sign your ISDA agreement in an appropriate way, because the tax jurisdiction, cross default jurisdiction, FACTA, and these kind of things can take you away. So please be careful while signing any form of ISDA agreements. And if you are an IT company, information technology company, or ITS company, it's going to be very important for you to sign a CSX agreement with you. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining in. You're most welcome to contact me at 919899242978. And you're welcome to join my foreign exchange academies on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Dailymotion. Thank you very much. Have a great evening as well.